Hello, everyone. Welcome to Geeks of the Round. My name is DeAno Jackson. I'm your executive producer. Of course, we are here as a continuation of our Breaking Bad discussion, talking all about episode 510, Buried. This is a really good episode. I can't wait to get into this. Also with me, as always, our host Matt Moore. What's going on, Matt?
Not much. I had really hoped that Buried would have been a person, but oh well, I'll survive.
Hey, you never know how this thing is going to go. It's like this season is going balls to the wall. Also joining the panel today, we have Isaiah Mullins. What's going on, man?
Great, man. Cannot wait to get into this, talking about this episode. It was great.
It's going to be fun. Johan, what's up?
Yes, hi. Yes, I'm here and on time. Can't wait to talk. This episode was amazing. I can't wait.
Indeed it was. And,
Yes.
of course, Knuckles Goldberg. What's going on, Knuckles?
All the way from Belize.
Yeah, it's Knuckles that sends bitches to Belize. Better believe that. Reggie, what's going on, buddy?
Hey.
Yeah. And Reggie wants everyone to make sure they have an A1 day. And last and most certainly not least, Todd Grundle. What's up?
Hello, everybody.
So,
That's all I got.
it's all good. It's all good. So let's just jump into this. It's like I thought this was a fantastic episode from beginning to end. It was like we saw in the beginning in the early teaser, someone finding some of the little bundles of joy Jesse was leaving about. Finding it's like did he straight up crash his car into the into that swing set?
And that was a great aerial shot when he was on the merry-go-round, and it had that shot above him.
Yeah, that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
He just looks like he's done. He's done.
Yeah.
I guess it's looking like I'm in the minority. I think I'm probably the only one that wasn't super jazzed about this one.
How so?
I mean, it was good, but I just wasn't blown away by it, I guess. I don't know, maybe another watching and I'll come around or something.
Was it too much Skylar for you?
I don't know, it just felt, I could tell, like, the build-up, that, they were building up to the good stuff. It kind of felt like the exposition, filler episode. To me.
I was the exact opposite of you. And the thing Isaiah mentioned, I asked him in a comment if he thought it was better than last week's, because I wasn't impressed with the premiere. And he said, it was about the same. Last week's was probably better. And I have to disagree with that, too. This is what I wanted last week. I was on the edge of my seat in every single scene, including Skylar.
Same here. I love that.
I thought this episode was just incredible. It did everything that last week missed for me.
Yeah, it's like, let's just jump right into that. It's like at the beginning of this, we kind of picked up from after the teaser and the intro and all that. We pretty much picked up from where we left off, and we have Walt leaving from Hank and trying to figure out what the fuck he's supposed to do, trying to contact Skylar, but Hank's already done that. He's like, oh shit, trying to get there in time, and then you have this epic confrontation, so to speak, between Hank and Skylar as he's struggling to trying to get her to flip on Walt in this restaurant. It's like, I mean, that was a smart move on his part, doing it in the restaurant, not bringing her like down to the DEA or anything like that, just trying to work out something, because honestly, Hank does want to protect her. I think he's still really struggling with the concept that this whole time, this entire year, it's been his own brother-in-law that's been responsible for everything that has happened. I still don't think he's really wrapped his head around that. Well, he knows it's true. He absolutely knows it's true, but...
And he's running on anger now. He's running on anger and frustration, and pretty much destroyed in a way, like I mean, they were like, in a sense of a way, like brothers in a way, because like those two characters were always like friends from when Skylar, like how Skylar and him met when he was married and all that stuff. So
brothers in a way, yeah, they did kind of marry sisters, so that kind of comes with the territory.
But I actually wanted to mention something about that very first scene is when Walt leaves the garage and Hank is opening the garage for him and then closing the garage for him. I felt like they were trying to bring a certain ominous feeling to that they obviously had in the last episode when he closed the door. I thought they were trying to recapture that I know this isn't a word, but that ominousity.
I think they did. I think they did that scene.
They've been doing that scene a lot, and they say online it's an homage to homage, I don't know, to The Godfather, where so and so slammed the door on somebody. They said that Walt closed the garage door on Jesse coldly in the same way that Hank closed it on him last night.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I think they were kind of building it up as like, okay, they had their little showdown. Now it's like, okay, game's on.
Basically.
Let's hit the ground running, or driving really fast.
Game is on, and first move definitely went to Walt to Hank on this one. It's like Walt tried to counter that move, but he wasn't in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thanks to Skylar, who pretty much outmaneuvered Hank in the way that she asked him, "Am I under arrest?" He didn't say yes or no, which gave Skylar the sense that she was not going to come out on top on this situation. So,
right.
I think it played in Skylar's hand and Hank's hands, if you think about it, because she was really crafty what she was saying.
I'm going to be nitpicky, and I'm going to say that Hank should not have had the car wash on his speed dial. But obviously he did. That's just me being nitpicky.
Well, no. It's like, I'm not going to say that. It's like, remember, it's like when Walt left, he was in a state of mind before he was making that call. Hank very likely made that call immediately. Like the second is like, y'all saw the garage door turn around, come down, and he turned away from Walt as soon as the garage door was blocking his vision of Walt. The second he turned around, he had to have had his phone in the sand calling Skylar. It took Walt a few seconds to go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm making something up, but didn't they show him with the phone in his hand?
I don't think
that was the garage door opener.
That is garage door opener.
No. Okay.
But he did spin around, like DeAno, you said that, right? He spun around real quick and went to go do something real fast.
Very quick.
When that garage went down.
Yeah, the
and
garage
Walt
door
still had to get to his car.
Yeah, the garage door was even closed when he was walking away.
Yeah.
So he was ready. It was like he knew the next move he was going to make, and it was the most logical move for him. It was like, if he can get Skylar to flip, because now it was like, as he's gone back, because we saw him in the last episode, in the mid-season premiere, going back over every single thing in the case file, but he's also doing that very same thing to his personal life, finally wrapping his head around exactly what in the hell was going on with Skylar when she was completely losing her fucking mind.
Right. He started adding dots here when she jumped herself in the pool, and so much so, it's like, it's coming all together. But again, I don't know. It's like Sky won't easily flip on Walter because, come on, how long have you been together? How long have you been in the game together?
I do not agree until this episode. If you would have said that very same sentence last episode, I would have thought you were a crazy man. Like Skylar, if at the beginning of this episode, even I thought, oh my goodness, Skylar's gonna flip on this guy like a pancake.
I was right there with you.
I knew she wasn't gonna flip because she doesn't want to break up. She doesn't want to screw up the family, so she's not gonna. If for nothing else, she wants to keep the family
and the money.
Since when? It's like, it's like a brand new thing. It's like.
Yeah, that was weird.
I'm recalling when Skylar first found out about this, and she was always like, absolutely not, kicked Walt out the house and all that, and it's been this antagonistic relationship, and now I'm supposed to believe that all of a sudden that everything's copacetic between the two of them, like they're all lovey-dovey, nothing is wrong, our life is perfect.
Yeah, that was
reaching a bit for me.
Yeah, too much so. But we don't know how time passed, though. Remember, time passed. So we don't know how things have went.
Time passed, and they have a mattress of money, like a quadruple stacked mattress of money.
Oh, yeah.
Bidding a big fat guy.
Yeah. Laying on that money.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, big shout out.
Yeah,
Lay
that
his
was-
ass on it. It's like, fuck it.
Oh man, you gotta try this.
Those were some great lines in that scene, by the way.
Oh yes, funny lines.
Yeah, I thought it was funny how they mentioned Scrooge McDuck in that scene, because the second he only got on the money, Scrooge McDuck is totally what I was thinking. So when the other guy, I'm sorry, his name escapes me right now, but when he said it, well, I know the actor's name, I don't know the character's name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They need to have him in a few more episodes, so I'll be satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that was a funny scene.
that scene in this episode reminded me of the Star Trek scene in the last episode.
Oh yeah, that was
Oh yeah,
hilariously funny.
That was totally genius. I have to say.
I
That's
just
the
think
greatest thing I've ever heard.
it just amuses me that they have, like, in both episodes, and we're going to see if this is a trend, that they have these cutaway scenes that actually have almost nothing to do with the story itself.
Right.
So we'll see if that's a trend.
I think
see,
that's
I
the charm
thought
of it.
Well, that's always something that the show has been good at. It's like no matter how serious things have gotten, it's like there are always times when something a little bit more lighthearted is happening, and this show seems to be very fond of random pop culture references.
Yeah, like Badger. Yeah, like Badger and Skinny Pete have always been kind of like the comedy relief of the show, along with Saul Goodman, of course.
Right.
Scene actually had more levity or more relevance than you guys are giving it right now, because I think that was like really reminding us how much of a badass Walter White is, you know, because there was a line in there that was almost up there with, you know, Say My Name and stuff, is when he says, when they're just having that conversation to open up the idea of these guys taking some of his money, because there's all that money.
Right.
Why don't they take it? And then he goes, I'm just saying Mexico. And then when the other guy goes, 10 guys in a 2-minute span in prison. That's all I'm saying. You know, that was a big line.
That was a great line. I like it.
Yeah,
the show has really nice. The show has a real nice charm of being that small comedy in a very dark situation. That's one reason I love Breaking Bad so much. They have very keen moments bringing comedy or very lighthearted moments. So that was really, really good.
I totally agree. But now it's like also it's like something major that happened during this whole confrontation between Hank and Skyler was that Skyler actually found out something she didn't know. She had no idea that Walt's cancer was back. Walt wasn't exactly in public with that knowledge. So this is something that she was just finding out from Hank, and she did not seem happy about that one at all.
See, that's
like,
where,
okay, that was weird.
That's where I think the switch in her head went off. Is up until he told her that, I still think she was gonna flip. I think it was that particular set of knowledge, at least it seemed to be by the actress who played Skyler. That seemed to be the information that made her decide not to flip on Walt.
I don't know how loving of a decision it is. It might be like, oh shit, he's dying. I'm going to be the scapegoat. Now I'm going to be the one who takes all the blame. He's going to be dead. And
I don't think so because
no, I think it was guilt from what she said to him last season. Like, oh, I'm just waiting for your cancer.
I really don't think because she's playing the long game. She's really playing the long game with the cancer because if he dies and if he does die, they have nothing against her. They have nothing on her at all, nor Walt. Because if he dies, it's pretty much dead end.
And you know Hank will protect her too. That's obvious.
Well,
I don't agree with that.
I don't know about that now.
I think she said it right there in the diner that he was just he wants Walt at all costs. He wants Walt at all costs. She said that's what it sounds like to her. And I agree. He was being. I thought he was desperate. He was desperately trying to get her to give a confession.
Well, of course he's desperate because he knows that Walt is Heisenberg. He knows that. But when it comes to being an officer of the law, it's not a matter of what you know; it's a matter of what you can prove. And right now, as much as he knows, he can't prove a goddamn motherfucking thing. He
not that knowing or anything else.
If he got Skyler on tape confessing everything, then Walt dies. She goes to jail for it all, for her part in it. There's no protecting her from that
at all.
That is true.
And he knows that.
That's just it. Is if she confessed and he basically protected her and said, hey, that like she gave over testimony to get this guy arrested, she can get immunity for that. But here's my thought: is the reason that she didn't was a completely selfish reason, and that is that they get away with it long enough for Walt to live, or long enough for Walt to die, she gets all the money.
Right. That was the main plan for Walter.
With millions of dollars.
Not hundreds of millions.
Maybe not hundreds of millions, but 10
No, I think they said it was like 50.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, close enough.
Bottom line, she walks away with mad cheddar.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. She wants the money. That's what she wants. She wants the money for her family. That's what's the end game for her is. Like, she wants that money. Like, screw the police. I want that money.
Oh no, I still don't think so.
Yeah, I think she would. I think she'd give Walt Jr. Some money, and then run off with maybe the baby. I mean, but I don't know. I think she'd take off and find another guy like that guy she worked with.
Oh, the one she screwed.
Had sex with guys all the time.
Veggie Man.
Yeah, that's the motherfucker.
I honestly don't know. I was thinking last night if the logic of Walter's plan is even so sound, because really, what is he giving to his children? Like, yeah, all this money, but they have to go on the run. Nobody. That's never been mentioned yet. You know what I mean?
Well, the going on the run thing wasn't part of the plan, because you have to understand.
He wasn't planning on getting caught.
Yeah, everything was fine. Everything was copacetic. If he wouldn't have had that damn book in that damn bathroom, everything would be everything right now. It's like, I mean, of all the things to bring down Walt, a book in a bathroom, unbelievable.
No,
while Hank
was
taking a shit, nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, come on, it's like
really was
cleared his mind.
You can plan for shit, but shit like that you can't plan for. That's just one of those, God damn it, what
Red
the fuck?
Well, really, if you think about it, it was Walt's drunken conversation that really did him in, I think, more than the book. Because then that got Hank back on the trail. Whatever, was that, like season 2? When Walt got drunk and he was like bragging. He's like, Hank was just giving up. He was about to give up the search and everything, and then they're having a little dinner party, and Walt's, what if they didn't really catch Heisenberg, and blah 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 blah. Hank's spidey sense back on.
I think Walt really screwed up by leaving that first page in the book. He should have torn it out.
Pretty much. WW, like, Hank would figure it out easily, like, WW. And that conversation they had, like, season back, like, and he said, Walter White, he said, you got me.
That is kind of off character, leaving that page in. I mean, he blows up grandmothers and little children to cover his trails. Leaving that page in the book,
right.
that is sort of a... Might say he wants to get caught. He wants to be known, like their motto this year. Remember my name.
His psychology. His psychology made him get caught. That's what his ego really. Just like Mike said, his ego and his pride. Pretty much.
I think that actually goes back is him passing these notes with Gale that even have his initials in the first place. I think when they were doing that originally, that was something I had a problem with because it's too close to an identifying marker. It was a mistake in the
writing too.
It just has come back to hit him like 2-3 seasons later.
Mm-hmm.
To bite him in the ass.
Yeah, but at this point, it's what's done is done, and I thought it was a very interesting strategy on Hank's part. He couldn't get through to Skylar, so it was a dirty trick. But he tells his wife everything. He gets the sister in on it. It's like, oh man.
Yes, that was a powerful scene. Powerful scene.
I'm kind of
Skylar and her sister.
I didn't think he was going to do that.
I didn't either. It's like I thought
he
she would be the last person he was going to tell. I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah, that actually it kind of destroys my theory is my thought was that the one person that might survive all of this is Marie, and I don't think so anymore.
Yeah,
I think she's gone because she knows.
Yeah, Marie knows too much, and it's like, and is there anyone here that thinks that there's the slightest chance of Marie keeping her mouth shut about any
going to believe?
Hell yeah, she's gonna leak, and it's like, and right now, it's like, I mean, this whole episode, right now, someone correct me if I'm wrong. Walt knows that Hank knows. Walt does not know that Marie knows.
That's bad. Real bad.
No, he didn't have time to be told.
Yeah, and when Walt finds out that Marie knows,
they're all screwed.
How's this gonna play out?
You all learned of my wild speculation.
Well, Saul already, Saul already.
Hold on, Johan. I know it's a little early for wild speculation, but I think all this stuff with Hank and Marie, I think in the long run of the last few episodes here is not going to really matter all that much. Because remember last week, it's obviously not the DEA who wrote Heisenberg on inside their house, destroyed their house. I think this is all going to come back with either the Shaq people that's working with Lydia.
That was a real interesting scene.
Could be Hank who spray painted it. I had that thought tonight.
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably. It could be some drug. It could be some like crackheads or meth heads.
I wouldn't think so. For no reason. What I took away from that spray painted Heisenberg in the year later flash forward is that Heisenberg's identity is more or less public knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's more well known. It's more powerful too, because he's dangerous. He's the guy who made the blue crystal meth. So that name has a more powerful meaning than it is in the years to go on.
Well, it's not a matter of having a more powerful meaning. It's just a matter of being more well known. It's like, I mean, you saw. It's like, I mean, not to talk about last episode too much, but you saw the reaction that his neighbor Carol had when she just saw him.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it seems to me safe to assume that by then, it's pretty much public knowledge what's what.
Well,
Go ahead. All right, wait. That was my thoughts too, all along. But then last night or this morning when I watched it, I just had this vision of Hank failing, at his white whale, and then in like this freaked out attempt, he's over at the house screaming Heisenberg, he's flipping out, and he brings like chaos there, and that's what Carol saw. That's why Carol was freaked out when she saw Walt. And then he just went in there and he figured, if I can't get you, I'm going to expose you anyway or something. He was trying to torment him out of the house. Probably won't happen, but
it's possible. What were you going to say, Johan?
Oh no, I was just going back to when you were talking about is Walt going to go after Marie and all of that. Well, I don't like when Saul already suggested killing Hank. He was like, I can't do that. He's like, I'll kill you before. I forget the exact line, but he said.
Send you to believe. Read Knuckles things.
Send you to believe. That's it. I'll send you to believe. I'll send you to believe. He was like to Saul.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny too.
So I don't think that he's going to willingly kill Hank or Marie. Something's gonna happen, and like what Knuckles was saying, how everything may lead up to what Lydia and all those guys, the guys that that Walt had killed.
I think that's pretty clear at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, pretty much.
Something to go off the I'll send you to Belize before I send him to is that in this episode, Walt has a clear set of morals. For the first time in a while, he's got a set of morals that he is following again, and he does it multiple times. He does some good things in this episode, like morally good things. First off, he basically says that Hank is off limits, which of course implies that Marie would be off limits. And then later on, he basically goes, you know what? I'm going to turn myself in, so long as you keep the money. Like this is like the return of Walter White, and I think that both of those opportunities aren't going to present themselves, and he's going to have to back down on both of them. But at least he put himself out there. He's all like he wants to do the right thing, and it might be the very last time that he tries to do the right thing, because we only have
the last thing
left.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see that. Yeah.
Let's hope it's the last time.
Yeah. Fingers
Todd
crossed.
thinks he's the pussy.
Yeah.
Todd doesn't back down when he sells drugs.
Never.
Or wait, no, sorry, manufactures drugs. Todd doesn't back down when he manufactures drugs.
Meanwhile, Lydia still has her own problems to deal with, trying to get the purity of the methamphetamine back up at least somewhere to near Heisenberg standards. Not really possible without Heisenberg. It was suggested that she uses Todd. She doesn't want to use Todd, so she went out to go have a meeting with some of the rest of the local gang. That meeting didn't work out too well for them.
Yeah, it was interesting too. How they got a drop on the move so easy? Like, wow, how'd you guys get a drop on them? It was like, wow, okay.
Something like nobody expects the little weakling, and you see Lydia as this, bumbling whatever. So they're not going to think nothing about her.
I thought it was hilarious, her climbing down the ladder in those heels.
Yeah, that was like, wow.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. I also thought it was pretty funny. After everything was all said and done, and Todd comes and gets her, and she doesn't want to see the body, so she's covering her eyes, and everyone else is like they're like, really?
Fire no.
Really? Wasn't this shit her idea? And this is what we're doing?
You paid us, so. So it is. I think that's it.
But it shows, that Lydia might be squeamish, but when it gets down to the get down, she's just as ruthless as anybody else is.
Yeah, that's why Mike didn't really trust her all that well, because she would do crazy, crazy stuff to get her way or get things out of her obstacle way. Someone had try to execute, try to have an assassination on Mike, which was a dumb idea, but yeah, she's not afraid of getting her hands dirty whatsoever.
I think this is the first time, however, that I've seen her, and I'm probably wrong, but this is the first time I've ever seen her be duplicitous. Is normally she's pretty straightforward. She's all like, Mike, we can't afford to. This is our situation. I can't get you methylamine, or I can't do this. She's always been pretty straightforward, and I think this is the first time I've seen her not be.
That kind of raises a good question. Was she, when she got there, because remember when she says, after the guy says no to Todd, when she tries to get him to take Todd on as the cook, he says no, and then all of a sudden something happens, he goes upstairs, and she says, which I really loved the line at the time until you just said that now, Matt, but she said, I really wish you would have chose Todd. But wasn't the attack already happening? And, I don't. Now I'm kind of not getting that line. Was she planned? If they said yes, was she going to do it? Because she didn't do anything to her phone until after he left. Until after the guy said there was a problem. So, was the plan going to happen anyway? Did he have a choice? Did he have a choice to take Todd and not everybody get?
I think he did have a choice. Them leaving up is because the gunshots hadn't fired yet. They were just rolling up. So that was the point where Lydia was telling them, yes, go forward with the plan or stand down.
Yeah, but she was going to kill him anyways because they wasn't Heisenberg, so it was just pretty much chump change.
I don't agree with that. I don't think Lydia would have killed him anyway. It's Lydia does things for good business reasons. You got to give her prospect. She's not some sort of just ruthless psychopath that just wants to kill people. It's if they would have gone with the plan and accepted Todd as the cook in order to get that purity up, because that was her main goal. I want this purity back up to where it should be. That's all she wanted. If they would have gone forward with the plan, everything would have been copacetic. Todd's uncles would have delivered him in. Everything would have been good, but they didn't want to go with that plan, so Lydia made other plans.
Yeah, when they were showing up, she would have just said, "Well, now there's Todd," if he would have agreed, and then he would have seen that she's got the. He would have seen that she's got the quote-unquote power, but how powerful is it if they're not searching your pockets for a damn cell phone?
Right,
I'm saying.
Dude.
Their method of security is to blindfold her.
Right. You check Walter and them that you had
no
any
one
guns or
ever accused
anything.
these guys of an overabundance of brain cells.
Yeah, that's true too.
But no, it occurs to me that up until this point, really, she's been a bit of an opportunist. She just happened to be at the right place at the right time, and she's very good at rolling with it. And this is the first time she's really done something that, in my opinion, she's done something that's really proactive. I mean, once again, she's given suggestions to Mike of doing something proactive, but she's never done it on her own.
She's actually Walter White now. She's Walter White now.
I think it's going to come out this big criminal mastermind. That a lot of her whatever is an act. And, she's really kind of been the brains and stuff behind all of this all along.
She's the new Gus friend.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah, that's
Walter was the new Gus. She's the new Walter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I always loved about the show is that Walter is the secret genius. I mean, everybody knows he's smart and everything, but up until he started cooking meth, he was just working in a high school, working at a car wash. It was only until he started getting into the drug business when we really start seeing how much of a genius he really is.
Right.
Well, before that, he was part of that company
he's
that made a lot of money, but he broke up with that girl and left the company.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure during all that, they're going to give closure on all that. I hope they do.
Oh, I think they will.
So we
I hope Todd dies.
So we got to talk about...
Why you want...
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Not you, Todd. The other Todd.
I was also going to say that he also won a Nobel Prize in chemistry.
Right.
So he was kind of a big deal.
He was, that's true, but then as we know, gray matter didn't work out, he got the shit end of the stick on that one, and then he just kind of dwindled into obscurity a little bit and started working at high school.
That's what caused the breakup.
Yeah.
There was some shit on the stick.
Wow.
Good God. All right, so it's like... Well, meanwhile, while Hank and certainly Lydia are making their chess moves, Walt's trying to make some chess moves of his own, as in get that money somewhere it can't be found. And that's, of course, where we have the title of this episode buried, because he has all of the money put into barrels and buries it out in the middle of the fucking desert, all on his own.
Good.
And he puts the coordinates on a lottery ticket. Genius.
Yeah, that actually was pretty smart.
I've never seen a lottery ticket whose numbers go up past 100. I've played a lot of lottery, and I've never seen a lottery ticket that goes past 65.
Well, now you have.
What's that?
Well, now you have.
Okay. But in any case,
I just know that money plays in place.
It was, I don't know, it was kind of cool for him to go out there. I couldn't see him actually doing that in real life. I couldn't imagine anyone actually pulling that off in the New Mexico desert. I couldn't see it happening.
Right, no one sees
Not
you.
without a jackhammer.
Yeah,
that's why he passed out from exhaustion when he got back.
Yeah, but that's a real big stretch.
I mean, I don't know.
With cancer, by the way.
Yeah, with cancer. Old man with cancer, and he's freaking burying, what was it, 6 55-gallon drums?
Yep.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
apparently we have to suspend a little disbelief for this episode.
What, you think it's too big of a job for Heisenberg?
I think it's too big of a job for Heisenberg. You know what? That's actually a pretty decent point. I could totally imagine him mixing something up and blowing freaking holes in the ground easier than him actually digging them.
Yeah.
I can see
science, bitch.
Yeah.
Magnets, bitch, yeah!
Yeah, so it's like, I guess that was a suspension of disbelief, but it's like, bottom line, that's what happened. It's like, he's got his money buried up in the desert. He's got the GPS coordinates on a lottery ticket that goes up too many numbers that exist here in the real world.
I'm nitpicky.
You know what? No, there's no suspension of disbelief because he put fucking plants back where they were. You know what I mean? So he didn't want to char that land and blow it up.
I think he put plants back where they were specifically to camouflage it. I think that was purely for camouflage.
Yeah, that was absolutely just camouflage. It's like the disbelief comes from Todd in this case that with a pickaxe and a shovel he could dig a fairly deep and wide hole in the desert by himself in a day and be a cancer patient.
Yeah, that is hard to swallow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jackhammer, a bulldozer, or something. It's like, I mean, I know what the desert in New Mexico is like. It's like I've hiked out in it. It's not entirely different from concrete.
Hey, if Batman can get away from a nuclear blast, then I think Walt can dig a hole.
They could have at least given him a jackhammer and a car battery. Pancakes,
something.
Bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, something with science.
MacGyver that shit.
All right, but bottom line, it all happens, and after a full day of him and Skylar being out of contact and being relatively uncertain as to what she's told Hank, he finally knows that she hasn't said anything to him, and Matt, you're right. Is like he is trying to do what's best for the family at this point, and trying to just I'll turn myself in. You can just keep the money. And Skylar, thank God, has some kind of common sense. It's like, if you turned yourself in, that money would be gone, dude. That plan ain't gonna work. So yeah, and she nailed it. She nailed what I was saying earlier. It's like Hank can know whatever he knows, but he hasn't got a lick of proof. None. Absolutely nothing he can take to the DEA. And that's even a conversation that Hank had with his own wife about why he wasn't going to the DEA with this. He says he told her straight up, it's like, if I go there, I'm going to get proof. Not to mention the fact, and he came at it from an angle that I honestly didn't think of, but he is absolutely right. If he goes in there and tells them, hey, yeah, know that Heisenberg guy I've been looking for the last year? You're never going to believe this shit. But turns out it's my goddamn brother-in-law.
Oh, this is that crazy guy.
It's fucking over.
And something that wasn't mentioned, but I was thinking, is not only is it his brother-in-law, but it's his brother-in-law that goes to all his barbecues with the DEA agents. I mean, the DEA know this man personally.
What's that say about the rest of the DEA?
They drank beer with this guy. And this guy paid for Hank's rehabilitation with this money.
And he interrupted their bust of the fake Heisenberg in like season 1 or 2.
And they did what? Sorry?
Remember when Walt interrupted their bust of the fake Heisenberg in like season 2, I think?
No, I don't, but I'll trust you.
Well, Saul hired a fake Heisenberg to go to jail for him.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, there was like a professional guy. He was like a professional go-to-jail for you guy. And they were at the
I vaguely remember that, but wasn't that for someone else?
They had him go meet at a bus stop. And then he
Walt
was sitting at the bus stop.
interrupted their surveillance.
Yeah, they were watching the guy, and then Walt comes up. He's like, hey, what are you guys doing? And they're like, Hank's like, Walt, get the hell out of here. We're trying to do something.
Do you know what season that was? I want to rewatch that.
I think it's season 2. Pretty sure it's 2.
It might be 2.
Yeah, but bottom line, Hank has been with Walt throughout a lot of things that were going on.
Yeah.
And has been through a lot with even going with Hank a few times, to when they were tracking down Gus, which is something that Walt brought up late last season.
Right.
Or last episode, rather.
Right. So, yeah, are we ready to talk about the big, huge thing?
What's the huge thing?
The ending of the episode?
Besides Johan's huge thing, as everybody knows.
Yes.
Johan, are you talking about the two sisters' families, basically Hatfield and McCoy in it?
Oh.
No. No, I was talking about the ending of the episode.
Oh, Jesse.
Should I just say it? Yeah. Hank and Jesse. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a good ending, too.
Oh, yeah. That was an awesome ending. And it's like, now, keeping in mind, it's like, it's something that I actually didn't think about until about maybe 20 minutes ago while we were recording here. But in all the times that we've seen Jesse in this episode, he has not said a single word, not one line for this entire episode. He hasn't spoken at all.
I was going to bring that up about Isaiah, because Isaiah wrote in his review on the Geeks of the Round page that, or community, that he said the episode could have used a little more Jesse. And I was going to say, used a little more Jesse. He had 2 scenes and 0 lines. There was next to 0 Jesse.
Yeah, I was kind of mad.
Yeah, but even in that not speaking, it's like he said everything that he needed to say. He is completely broken at this point. He is done. He's throwing away all this money.
He has no life, really.
Anymore. He just doesn't give a shit anymore. He doesn't want any part of this. He just wants it all to be over. No matter what the outcome is, he wants it to be over.
I want him to be over.
Walter White. I don't know how he's going to do that.
And Hank is going to offer him that out. This is what I think is what's going to happen.
I want Jesse to go to Belize quick.
Yeah, right?
Well,
next episode.
That's the question, is how smart is Jesse? I mean, we know Jesse is damn smart, but how smart is he now? Because the fact that if he flips on Walter, Walter's going to kill him. If he doesn't flip on Walter, Walter's going to kill him anyway.
Basically, regardless.
Have one line next episode. He's just going to say, "Lawyer, bitch."
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Walt has to see Jesse as a loose end.
Sadly,
because he saw the way he was in the first episode. He saw the way he was with the money. It's like, you gotta keep this fucking money, man. You can't be giving it out.
You have to believe me that Mike is alive. You have to believe me.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time, I think, before Walt tries to tie up that loose end.
Yes, that moment we don't want to see happen, but it has to.
Yeah, but
I don't want to see anything happen between Walt and Jesse's loose end.
Oh, good God, I'm not even going there. All right. Keeping in mind that the title for next week's episode is Confessions, it is now wild speculation time.
Oh. Okay.
Wild speculation. Next episode is going to be fucking awesome.
Well, that's not speculation. That's a fucking fact, dude.
It's like a fact. It's like a fact of life.
Yes.
Okay, it's like, okay. Wild speculation might be going too far here. What do you guys want to see happen? Because in this one, very clearly it's going to be, what I'm hoping to see is the majority of this episode honestly focus on this conversation between Hank and Jesse, because there's a lot of animosity there between the two of them. And one thing is, like, you guys remember that whole situation where they tricked Hank into thinking that his wife was in the emergency room, and she wasn't, and Jesse got his ass beat for that, who had absolutely nothing to do with it other than being in the room at the time. It was actually Walt, which, as we saw in the mid-season premiere, Hank is aware of. He does know that. He does realize that now, that ass whooping Jesse did not earn.
Like, oh shit, my fat man. Oh, I'm sorry, dog.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, I mean, this thing is going to be deep. It's like, I want to see the two of them going back like all the shit that we've even forgot about back from season 1, and going through it and trying to figure and Hank trying to figure out what happened. The real question, I suppose, is Jesse even going to talk to him? He has no reason to talk to him.
Yeah, and I don't know. One thing
but he also has no reason not to talk to him.
Right. But from ways Jesse's looking, I would like to know what he's going through. Like, I would say what's going in his mind right now. Like, what's Jesse thinking right now? Like, this whole downhill spiral of just doom and gloom, and his life is like, you say his life is pretty much over when you look at his face. Like, I'm so tired. I just want to be over with.
He's gonna wait until he's in a car with Walter, and then as they're driving down, he's gonna yank the wheel and make them jump into a river.
Hey, this is not Dexter.
He's
gonna
show. Wrong show.
He's gonna pull a Deborah.
No, he's gonna make him go to the desert. I bet Jesse and Walt's gonna go to the desert. That's how it's gonna be.
I don't know about
nothing.
Yeah, I do. I think I got to agree with Isaiah. I mean, it makes total sense. It's that it's going to come full circle because they started in the desert. It's going to end in the desert.
Yep, he's gonna steal that jacket.
That was something that I found interesting. Is when they went underground into that bus. The first thing I thought of is, damn, this looks like the RV.
Yeah, my girlfriend nudged me, and I think Linda, you thought it was the RV under the ground too, right? Is that why you nudged me, or are you just a jerk? Yeah. We thought it was the RV.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting, but nothing to do with the confessions. But I really think we're going to see a lot more of Lydia and a lot more of Todd next episode.
I think so too. They're
I'm thinking like a quarter of the episode is going to be them two.
Yeah, they're gonna convince Walter if they join him or not. If they don't join him, then it's all out. We're pretty much war on his head too. Like bounty on his head. Like you got to deal with Walt. You got to deal with Hank. Then you got to deal with these crazy ex-employers after him now. Like wow, you made a lot of crazy enemies. I
don't know. Now that they have Todd, they may try and toe the line with Todd, and then it might be another episode before they try and get Walt again. Because they have Todd, they're going to try with Todd to get his 74%.
Yeah, but Todd's not Heisenberg.
I think the checks have been on him about, hey, this stuff ain't going right. You need to clean it up. And I think that Lydia's trying to make it so that Walt will come back. So I think that's why they offer to the other people, and I think they're probably going to go after Skylar because now Lydia knows Skylar knows where they're at. So I think she's gonna start going after them and be like, hey, if you don't start cooking again, you're gonna be sorry. So
they're pulling a Gus.
Yeah. So I think the days are numbered for Pam, especially Marie. Still saying, just putting it out there.
Also, one last thing. Where's Walt Jr. at? For this whole time, I haven't seen Walt Jr. at all. Like, where's Walt Jr. at? He's been very absent.
No one cooked breakfast this episode, so he had no reason to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walt Jr. is out banging the bitches.
He's like, no breakfast, no Walt Jr.
Yeah. When Walt Jr. comes up, he shows up to do one thing and one thing only: eating breakfast.
It's in his contract. Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, if I'm being on camera, y'all bitches better feed me.
Motherfucker, where's my food at? Where's my breakfast?
I had a thought that it's not a wild speculation, but I actually wanted to take a moment to disagree with everything everybody said throughout this entire thing.
Okay, because earlier on I said you were a good guy, so if you want to take that back, you want to disagree, have at it. Yeah, because honestly, I think you're an asshole too.
No, but for real though, there's a lot of talk about chess moves and Hank making moves, and I think Hank has been making moves, but he's been making very bad moves. Because if you look at it, Walt has one-upped him on everything he's done. Has ensured that he's not going to get Skylar, because by bringing Marie there and Marie grabbing the baby, she fucked that up. That's done.
Bad choice.
That's what made Skylar realize I can't give this up. I've got to keep quiet. By exposing himself to Walt, or rather by just the first move alone, putting the thing under the car, that alone, now the money's gone, so that's like the last trace really to get to Walt, except for the 52 loose ends.
52 loose ends?
I think something like that. 52, no, like 22, I'll look.
52, 22, close enough.
No difference. It's a potato and a tomato. They both taste like
tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who wants to point out that potatoes and tomatoes actually don't taste anything remotely similar?
I'm sorry, I meant potatoes and tomatoes.
Same difference.
Thank you for clearing that up. Anyone else have anything?
I got nothing.
All right, cool. Then we're going to go ahead and wrap this up for this week. I would like to thank everyone on the panel for joining us today. And for you all watching, this has been Geeks Around for the episode 510 discussion. You guys can always hit us back next week at geeksandaround.com for the episode 511 discussion. That one's going to be fun for confessions. I'm really excited about that episode. If you guys have anything for us, you can, of course, shoot us an email at geeksaround@gmail.com. Feel free to circle us on Google Plus and make absolutely sure to join the Geeks Around community. Also on Google Plus, you'll find the link for that in the description for this video. My name is DeAno Jackson. We will see you next week. Peace.